Hello guys, today we're talking about imperialism in India. And we're going to be, as you can see from this map, we're going to be focusing on British imperialism because the British are the country that imperializes India. Now, if we look, all of this is considered India. However, eventually India is going when India gains independence from the British, it will be split into the northern um, Muslim majority Pakistan. Over here, where we have Bangladesh as a Muslim majority, that will be East Pakistan and eventually become Bangladesh. This then, of course, the Hindu majority will be India. Here we have Ceylon, which is going to be Sri Lanka. Well, it is a British colony. It's not part of British India. And then, of course, Burma here. But when we're focusing on India. Now, India is considered the jewel of the crown of the British Empire. Remember, the British Empire is so vast. We've seen the images that they have territory in North America, Canada. They have territory in South America. They have territory in Australia, China, India, Africa, and of course Britain. So at any point in the day, some point, the British Empire was, the sun was setting, would be over the British Empire. So the sun never set on the British Empire. But with all its vast holdings, India is the jewel in the crown. It's, as all colonies are, they are a source of raw materials for the English. But even more important, India has a large market. There is a large population of Indians, which is an excellent market for British goods. And one of the things you'll see in India's independence movement is trying to break that when we eventually get to India. Now, India's independence. One of the things when we talk about Indian independence, well, let's start back. When we talk about the British colony of India, we need to explain their economic policies. The British controlled the economy of India. India's all the raw materials that India is producing. And remember, raw materials include, those are materials needed to make other goods. So natural resources can go into that also. But India is producing the cotton for the British textile factories. They're producing opium to sell, they're growing the opium plant to sell in China. Oh, I'm sorry, the poppy plant that will be used to produce opium. They are tea. Anything that they are providing raw materials for, anything they are selling has to go to Britain. And in return, the British will make goods in their factories and they will send them back to Britain, to India. And the only goods that the only people that Indians can buy from are British goods. So even though I may be able to sell my products for a higher market, let's say to France, nope, I have to sell them to Britain. I may be able to buy cheaper goods from France. Nope, I have to buy from Britain. So that's going to create some problems in the Indian Empire. And then last, anything that British is making, for example, textiles, the Indians are not allowed to manufacture themselves. Now, there are positive and negatives to imperialism. Some of the big positives is the railroad is put into India, which is going to encourage a modern economy. It's going to allow Indians to travel from one end of the country to the other. It's going to be this major transportation system that is so important to the development of Indian economy. But remember, the British are putting it in not for the benefit of the Indians, but the idea that it's going to improve trade. And think about it. If I have the railroad, well, I can move Indians faster. I can also move my troops faster. It's going to improve infrastructure. Infrastructure, you may want to make an annotation. Just remember, is the things that you need to run an everyday society. They're going to put in electrical lines. They're going to put in telegraph lines, telephones. They're going to put in sewers. They're just going to really improve the infrastructure of India. Sanitation. They're going to develop trash pickup. They're going to put in sewers so that the health of India's cities will improve. And as a result of the sanitation initiatives they put in, the public health of India improves. Well, another thing that happens is the British bring in, teach the Indians to read, so literacy is going to increase in the country. However, remember, they're going to be British schools. They're going to be learning English. They're going to be learning British history. It's going to be a very Western model of education, but Britain is going to build schools and universities. And then there was warfare going on in India, and Britain ended that, because you got to remember the British are coming in when the Mughal Empire is declining. Negative effects of the British in India is the British are going to control not only the economic but the political power. India was ruled directly by the British, first the British East India Company, then the British government. One of the things the British did, as they do in Africa, is, okay, we can sell you the food, you need to grow cash crops for us. So self-sufficiency, this is this idea that you can produce goods, a country that is self-sufficient can produce enough goods, enough food for all its people. The Indians lost the ability to feed themselves because they're forced to grow cash crops, just as the British did in Africa. Because of the forcing to grow cash crops, the farmers aren't making food production, which is going to result in famines, and famines when you have a large group of people starving. On top of that, the British are going to bring in their Christian missionaries, and they're going to really bring it, the British are going to bring their racist attitudes, which is going to conflict with traditional life in India and cause issues. So with that, what I want you to do is I want you to stop this video right here. Go to Google Classroom. There is this Sepoy video that I would like you to watch, and then we will pick up the video. So right now you're pausing this video, you're going to Google Classroom, you're going to watch the Sepoy video in there, and then you will finish this video. Alright, thank you for watching. So you saw the video that I just had you pause for, and it was the Sepoy Rebellion. And as you saw from the video, a Sepoy is an Indian soldier in the British Army. These soldiers are going to play a very, very important role. First, the Indians are angry at this time because the British are trying to convert them to Christianity. The Indians are Muslims and Hindus. These are two religions that mean a lot to the country, to the people, and they're being given this Christian message, and they're upset about it. Another thing that's beginning to develop, Indians are beginning to develop this idea that we are Indians and Indians should rule India, so nationalism is growing. At the time of the Sepoy Rebellion, there were economic problems in the country, and since Britain was running the economy, they were blamed for it. So if I look at these three, these are kind of like, 1, 2, and 3 are kind of like the wood pile. These are the things that I need to start the fire. The greased bullet rumor, that's the match. Hindus and Muslims are not allowed to touch beef and pork. What happened is a new rifle was introduced into India, and the way that you had to load this rifle was you have to bite off this paper, and then you would put the bullet into the rifle. Well, one of the things, you didn't want the bullet to stick, so you greased the paper. So the rumor was that the British were greasing the paper with beef and pork fat. Hindus can't touch Hindus can't touch beef, Muslims can't touch pork, so as a result, the Sepoys, this was like the final insult. Even though doesn't matter where the rumor is true or not, but that is what lit the the rebellion. The rebellion is going to fail. One of the things that happens in India is you have Hindus and Muslims, and they do not get along. And as long as the Hindus and Muslims are fighting, it's very hard for them to unite and overthrow the British. So you have that going on, and then you have weak leadership. So as a result, the British government is going to take control of India. And they are going to tighten their grip on India. They're going to improve the infrastructure. They're going to build up India, but at the same time, it's under stronger British control. The attitudes of the British, there's social Darwinism, this idea that we're superior to you, this racist attitudes increase, which increases distrust between the British and the Indians, and nationalism is going to surface as the Indians are put under the tighter control. What eventually will happen is, as British are controlling, you will get two groups forming in India: the Indian National Congress, which is the Hindu group, and the Muslim League, which is the Muslim group. Eventually, these two groups will work together to bring Indian independence. Indian National Congress is going to be the group that Gandhi is from, and the Muslim League is going to be the group that Jinnah is from. And these two groups will lead to independence in India. So thank you for that. I hope you have good notes, and we'll go from there.